So, Suzanne, you were telling me why that was a backing track for a particular TikTok video you put out. TikTok, of course, is this kind of one of these items of social media where short videos are put out, especially by Suzanne Guest.
Yes, I'm not as good at TikTok as I am at other mediums, but as lockdown started, I thought I need to get onto this TikTok because other people are. And over a couple of years, I've had a bit of a thing about accessible toilets. So toilets that people can get into and out of with a wheelchair. And if you don't need them, you've probably never noticed that they have a cord that comes from the ceiling that you would pull in an emergency. And my little bugbear is that they're always tied up. They're either tied around the grab rail, they're shoved behind the bins, sometimes they're actually physically tied up and they're really high. And they're needed if somebody falls out of their chair, falls out of the loo, needs help. So they should actually be available for people to grab. So I used to huffily untie them and think nothing of it. And then I started tweeting that I was doing it. And Peter Jones probably saw that because it was on my Twitter, Sam. And then...
Yeah, I told him that. I was saying that over coffee to him, exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And what I found was that friends were saying to me, I can't believe how often you're doing that. So I then decided, I know I'm going to do a TikTok of it. So I videoed it and I spent ages thinking of a song that could go with it. And then I thought, so I did the free bit of it and put it on, thought, I'll see what will happen. Got a few hundred views. So I was like, yay, TikTok famous. And then as the day and the days went on, I kept saying to my friend, look how many views this have got. And it was like 7,000 views. It's like, wow. And it's now on about 125,000 views. So I think it's good for just kind of getting the message out there. And I have got friends now who just randomly send me texts saying, I've untied the cord. So I actually had a night out on Friday and the cord was tied up. So I come back and I just said to my friend, I've untied the cord. And she knew exactly what I meant without any sort of context. And she was wondering whether or not I'd made a video of it, but sadly I've not got my phone with me. So I've done 2 in the last week. So I think we need to just be aware really that they're not just there for if you're on the loo, you're not calling for room service. What they're for is if you've got an emergency and you need help, and people need to be able to get them from the floor. You know, it must be really humiliating if you're needing to get help when you're in the loo. So, you know, just they should be in the way, I suppose, is the moral of the story.
You know, I never used to notice these red cords before, really. I just used to sort of see them out the corner of my eye. But since you told me about this, I've really started to notice them and what position they're in. Are they hanging loosely properly, or are they tied up, or where are they? When I go into that kind of a room, toilet, in whatever building I am. So thanks for bringing it to our attention. And I think you said there was a song that you could have used instead of whatever by Oasis.
Yeah, I'd posted it, and I only thought afterwards I should have used "Please Release Me."
Yes.
So, and I did make another video of a "Please Release Me," and it's actually got a bit of hand acting in, because I did a different chord with it. Yes, hand acting. So it started off. Well, I do a bit of a finger wag when it's in the wrong place, and then I release it. But that didn't get as many views as my Oasis one. So I think I'm just going to have to stick with that. But it's great that people are just noticing these things. Psychology term alert. It's actually called selective abstraction. So when you become aware of something, you start noticing it more, which is why, say, if you buy a new car, you suddenly notice other cars that are of the same make, or pregnant women notice lots of other pregnant women. So if you're aware of these cords and where they are, hopefully more people will see them and more people will untie them. I think I'm going to be known as the toilet woman or something. But yeah, Sue's on the loose. I can do that.
Sue's on the loose, Sing and Sue's for when you're on here. and the smiling psychologist, all sorts. Will you come up again, Suzanne? Will you be with me?
Of course I would. I'd love to.